The soft glow of fairy lights danced across the backyard, laughter and music filling the summer evening air. Friends and family gathered under a white floral arch, watching as the bride took her first step toward the altar. But before she could even reach the groom, the sharp wail of sirens cut through the melody. The crowd turned toward the front gate. There stood Margaret, the notorious HOA president, arms crossed, lips pursed. She'd actually called 911 to shut down an unauthorized gathering. What Margaret didn't realize was that the groom, the man about to say, "I do," wasn't just any resident. He was the city's police chief. Alex and Emma had lived in the quiet Maple Grove neighborhood for 2 years. They'd chosen the place for its large backyards, peaceful streets, and promise of privacy. Margaret, however, ran the HOA like a queen with a crown of rulebooks, enforcing every bylaw with a zeal that made neighbors tread lightly. Alex, the police chief, was respected in town but kept his professional life separate from home. They planned a small, intimate wedding at home to avoid the chaos of big venues, never imagining it would become the scene of an HOA showdown. 2 days before the wedding, Margaret showed up at their door, holding a laminated copy of the HOA guidelines. She warned them that events with more than 10 attendees needed board approval. Alex calmly explained it was a private ceremony, but Margaret's eyes narrowed. She hinted she'd be keeping an eye out. On the big day, as guests arrived and music began, she marched to the sidewalk with her phone in hand, dialing 911. The first patrol car pulled up, lights flashing, as whispers ran through the crowd. Margaret loudly declared the gathering a disturbance, citing noise and violations of community rules. Guests looked uneasy. Emma's bridesmaids whispered to Alex to do something, but he stayed calm, wanting to see how far Margaret would go. The officers approached, ready to speak to the homeowner. The atmosphere was tense, the ceremony hanging in limbo. As one officer asked, "Sir, are you the homeowner?" Alex smiled, reached into his suit jacket, and presented his badge. "Yes, and I'm also the chief of police." The stunned silence was almost comical. Margaret's confident smirk vanished. The officers exchanged knowing glances, realizing this was not an ordinary call. Alex stepped forward, addressing both the officers and his guests, making it clear the event was lawful and peaceful. The officers apologized for the interruption and offered to stay to ensure the rest of the evening went smoothly. Margaret mumbled something about misunderstandings before slipping away, her plan having backfired spectacularly. The ceremony resumed, this time with an extra layer of relief and a few amused smiles among the guests. Alex and Emma exchanged vows under the soft evening light, surrounded by friends, family, and now 2 supportive officers standing discreetly near the gate. The laughter returned, the music played on, and the wedding went down as one of the most memorable in Maple Grove history. As for Margaret, she never tried to enforce wedding rules again, especially when the groom wore a badge. Alex and Emma exchanged vows under the soft evening light, surrounded by friends, family, and now 2 supportive officers standing discreetly near the gate. The laughter returned, the music played on, and the wedding went down as one of the most memorable in Maple Grove history. As for Margaret, she never tried to enforce wedding rules again, especially when the groom wore a badge.